Greetings, Mythics. How are we all? Hopefully you are tuned in. You are there. Hello. I think Lerin is already there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I did have a visitor. Sally came to visit. She needed to borrow some chairs. Yes, my name is Ken Poiter, and I will lend you chairs if you turn up at my door. I also have a YouTube channel, the right way round, called The Bottled Imp. Go check that out. Go check The Bottled Imp out. There's over 450 fantasy goodness episodes. Fantasy book reviews, fantasy film reviews, and fantasy, books, films, and board games. That's what we do. This is Grocklesnook of said Bottled Imp. Hello there, morning, morning, morning. Jonathan, how are you, sir? How are Ace Game Books this morning? Hopefully you're in your shorts, or maybe your mankini, because it's very, very hot in the UK. Hello, Martha. I am late again by 5 minutes. You are very, very observant, Martha. Absolutely. Yes, sorry about that. I got delayed. Blame Sally. If we're blaming anyone, we're blaming Sally. Don't. I only say that because I know she's not watching. Shorts, of course, Jonathan. It's much... Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little experiment because Twitch, in their stupidity, have, again, glitched out. So, okay, that's not... Okay, I was wondering if that was going to reset my menu at the bottom, but it hasn't. So it's going to be hard to read the chat this morning. Shorts, and it's much more something here. Somerset than yesterday. It's cooler. Okay, it's much more cooler. That's good. Yeah, I don't think it is where I am in the Shire. I'm very hot. Good morning, Lee Rin. Good morning, Martha. Oh, I've said Martha. Yeah, Martha's got 24 degrees Celsius. That is very, very hot. Yeah, how is everybody coping with the heat? How are you cooling down? I have a fan, I've got shorts, and they do say by drinking a hot drink that cools you down because you sweat more. Lirin, good morning, or good evening, I don't know. Good downpour afternoon. Okay, it's afternoon. Ken, Martha and John. If only the weather can cool down. We're going to rain. Oh, okay. If they are going to rain, yes. It was 34 degrees Celsius yesterday where Jonathan is. It's now 26. Oh wow, that's a big jump, isn't it? It must be the same. Is it rough? I don't know. Yeah, it's quite a distance between myself and Jonathan, and for good reason. Just finishing off Sally's coffee. Just didn't get time to finish it. Yes, how is everybody? What's everybody been working on? I know, Martha, you've been cracking away at your novel. You've written something like 180 pages, which is amazing. And whenever you two meet, yeah, we do have giggle fits. I know we do, which is lovely. Well, I mean, it's more Jonathan laughing than me. 319 pages from Martha there. That's amazing, Martha. You must be really proud of yourself. That really is good. Because I know in the past you have struggled. You had a bit of writer's block, and you didn't quite know how to finish something, or so to do that is amazing. That's really good. And I guess, like you said, you went to the library, so it was a change of scenery. You're psychologically, it must have been right. I'm in a different environment. I'm gonna, this has just gone right. This is what I do. I guess it is. It's that training. It's discipline, I guess, as well. I've learnt a technique now where I in my head I say there's no such thing as writer's block, and therefore I'm just going to write. So, no, even if I've got an hour, because sometimes I only have like an hour to write, because of what I do at the school. So it's like, so I might go, right, I've got an hour, and that's it. And so I can't afford to go, oh, I'm stuck, I don't know, So I just go, right, I'm just going to write, because, and this is the key to it, I think, you then just get it out on the page, and then you can rewrite it later. But if it doesn't even come out onto the page, then you can't rewrite it. I know it sounds very obvious and maybe very easy, but some people, you know, it is a thing, because they want... Oh, hello, Grockle. You all right, mate? Is the heat getting to you? Because I think some people want to write the perfect sentence. You know, so they sit and they and ah and they do the sit and they really want the perfect sentence, and that's fine. But I just thought, you know what? That's very rare to come out first time. You know, I mean, I can do it, obviously. But do you see what I mean? It's like, let's not worry about writing the perfect sentence. Let's just write it. Let's just write it. Hooray for Martha, says Lerin. So I am a big believer in just splurging it all out onto the page. No matter how rubbish you think it might be. Because that's not going to be the finished bit of writing. You know, that's not going to be the final draft. I've got the hiccups now. So it is a case of just getting it out there on the page, and then then you can rewrite it. Yeah, you can rewrite it. So there we go. Leaving his pair over 35 degrees Celsius. Torrential and had a torrential downpour. What a dreary combination. Yeah, going to make it more cheerful with a warm mug of sugar and milk with a little coffee. That sounds delightful. Yeah, I've got coffee, no sugar, and it's decaf. Fair warning, says Martha. Some scenes are emotional. Is that? I can't really read it because it's gone behind the menu. Heavy, and I don't think it's for kids. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. If you know, and that's how it came out then. So obviously not everything has to be written for kids. That is an interesting thing, because when you look at fighting fantasy, I know this one, Sorcery, was a bit aimed at sort of older people, older kids, and maybe young adults, but yeah, you've got to, you know, I wrote To Kill a Thief, and I don't dumb down for kids, and so it is that, well, what is a kid's book and what is a adult book? And I do think there is a difference, but I also think kids, yeah, there's a long range in kids, isn't there? Because there's picture book for, you know, 2 to 4 year olds, and I guess you got picture books for 6 to 8 year olds, and then when do you get little novels? When do you get the kids novel? Is that 8 plus? You know, and then you know, there's a difference. Maybe 10 might be the next one. You know, when does their reading really jump on? You know, like get better. Is it every 2 years? You know, so if you write for an 8-year-old, is that different writing for a 10-year-old that's writing different from a 12-year-old? Certainly teenagers are different. So maybe there's, yeah, I mean, this is all worked out. You know, I've done research on this, I just can't remember it. Yeah, and Jonathan's got a good point there. Depends very much on the child. Yeah. You know, I know some people that have gone, oh yeah, I read Lord of the Rings when I was 14. And it's like, well, yeah, well, there's no way I would have been able to read Lord of the Rings at 14. Do you know what I mean? So, Lewin's going downstairs to get that mug of sugar. Enjoy, Lewin, enjoy. So Jonathan says here, my son was off the chart on primary school. There you go. Aged 8, he had a reading age of 14, which was where the chart ended. Fantastic. Yeah. And that's why it's difficult. He's not 22 and has just... what? He's not 22 and has just read Finnegan's Wake. I've not heard of Finnegan's Wake. Oh no, is that like a classic? He's 21, almost 22. Oh, okay. So yeah, so he's what's Finnegan's Wake then? It sounds Celtic. Is Finnegan's Wake like a big chunky book? Is that a classic? Why have I not heard of it? Why have I not heard of it, Gocklesnook? Because I'm thick, apparently. Oh, by James Joyce. Yes. So it is a classic. It's almost impossible to read. I've tried. I heard that James Joyce... What's the other one? James Joyce... Did he do like the Odyssey, retelling of the Odyssey? What's his most... Yeah, there you go, Ulysses. Yes, I think I've tried reading that one. And, it's a nightmare. So he's reading that. Well, there you go. There you go. And I think that's the difficulty, isn't it? You know, with this book, I guess there's other practical things to take into consideration. So, To Kill a Thief, I would say, reads like a fighting fantasy book in terms of, you know, but I don't dumb down. The fighting fantasy book never dumbed down. But I did notice that the fighting fantasy books have short paragraphs. And you do think, oh yeah, especially if I'm a boy, because I wasn't very good at reading when I was a kid. But when I read fighting fantasy, I could do it. And it's probably, I wasn't aware of it at the time, but it's probably to do with the shorter paragraphs. Whereas my book, look at that, for an entry, you know, this one is 2 pages. So does it also mean about concentration and how long you can actually read for? Yeah. Martha's put here, the new book I'm working on has some people with dark thoughts. I didn't dumb down anything, and one scene made my buddy cry. Yeah, well then, that sounds like you've done well. So I've put here 10 plus, but it's like, it depends on your reading age. And also you got themes. This is very much, you know, what makes an adult theme. So obviously there are some very dark themes that are not in mine, but of course you're fighting monsters, you know. So I'd sort of, you know, if people talk, you know, so if someone asked me about this, it would be, yeah, it's morning spell sing. How are you? We're just talking about ages of work, you know, as in what's a kid's book, what's a young adult book, what's a adult book, and it there are kind of definitions, but then of course there's always exceptions. There are novels for younger children than 7. Hang on, let's have a look from Jonathan here. But it's not necessarily the same as books written by children to be able to read themselves. There are novels for children younger than 7, but it's not necessarily the same as books written by children to be able to read themselves. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could write a novel for a child under 7, but it's got to be very short, I guess. And you know, use simple words. So I know that I always say that this would be, say, 10 plus. 10 plus if you're a good reader. But then there's other things to take into account with a game book. Can they understand the combat system? Can they understand, you know, the testing your luck? All of that, all the mechanisms as well. The Osborne ones reverses the assumption and respects the attention span of its audience. Yeah, that is a very good point, Lewin. Hence giving us long, rich character and well-being section feel alive as the late FF books. Yeah, and that's why I'm not overly fussed with my one if children buy it, because I would say, yeah, 10 plus, you know, if you're a good reader. But I do wonder, it would be interesting to see the stats on the Osborne ones, because it's like, how many what's the audience of people who are older that read game books versus kids that read game books? And also, back in the day when Fighting Fantasy came out, were there adults buying those books? Or was it just kids buying the books? Do you know that, Jonathan? If adults bought Fighting Fantasy books when they first came out? I guess it was all pretty new. Martha's total dice count is 1,253. Jonathan here has put Noughts and Crosses by Mallory. Oh, I'm going to have to do that to read it. Blackman is a young adult novel aimed at 12 plus that includes a word that the author what is blocking that rhymes with ape. Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting, because I would say don't go near that one for a kid's book. No. I guess it depends on the book. If it's a gritty, more realistic book, then yes. But I wouldn't personally want to go down into that one. But, well, there you go. So if that's out there already, Jonathan puts it, at events, the only Ace game books I say isn't suitable for children is Dracula. Fair enough. Although Alice's Nightmare in Wonderland includes decapitation. Yeah, again, I like to describe in my game book how you die, rather than just you're dead. It's like if you lose, and then I'll take you to a paragraph to give you a bit of a gory ending, because I thought if you've been playing this for a while, you want a nice wrap up. I know people go back and play it, but well, I hope they do. So that's what I do, and yeah, I'm very mindful about how gory I should make those. Adults did buy the FF books, RPG fans in particular. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, that's cool. So really, these game books do span adults and kids. I do wonder how many kids start reading these books nowadays, because you've got video games, Spellsingers per here. Interesting. I'm reading game book New Tokyo 2030, very much aimed at adults. Interesting. It has harsh language and all sorts. Yeah, so that is adults. And again, I think it's a very bold move. At least you know your audience. Yeah, this is for adults, it's not for kids. However, you are cutting your audience, your potential selling power down, in half, presumably. But fair enough, yeah, if somebody's thinking, no, do you know what, I want to write an adult game book, yeah. I think children need to build resilience. No, I think you're right, and I think that's why it's like when you go and see a video, where you play a video game, or you see a film, or even you read horror, or things like we're talking about. They're safe spaces, if you like, to actually, for them to inhabit it, because it's not real, it's not happening. So, it's not like they are walking down a forest at night time and they hear howling. It's not like they're actually doing that, which would be absolutely frightening. They're reading about it. So they're in their house, their nice warm house, hopefully cold today. So it's sort of a safe way to, get scared, or, yeah, like you say, build resilience. Spellsingers, but a game book, Rise of the Ancient, has a sex scene. I'm still blushing now. Yeah, that's an interesting... Again, that's a bold move. Let's see how that pans out. Yeah. Does it give you options, should we just say? If you would like to... If you'd like to go into the front door, or you'd like to go into the back door, does it give you options? Jonathan's pair, are you? Most kids' books are bought for kids by adults. I can't remember what I said about that. Most kids' books are bought... Oh, actually, yeah, in general. Yes. The adults will buy the book. In, out, shake it all about. Yeah, sex scene options. My friend and I once talked about writing a game book based on a stag do. Oh my god. That'd be hideous. Are you reduce your potential? Yes. I think, yeah, if you write, oh, I see, most game books are bought by adults, even for kids. So maybe they're not. Yeah, that's a good point. Although I remember going to, I'm pretty sure I went into a bookshop and bought fighting fantasy books. Like, I bought that with my own money. Maybe I got a few for my birthday. I do remember getting some Choose Your Own Adventures for my birthday and being very happy, very exciting. Yeah, you get choose your own position. What's it called? Rise of the Erection? No, Rise of the Ancients. Yeah, I personally am not going to be writing sex scenes in my game books. There's no place for it. But that is a very good point. So I would say yes. Mine would appeal to adults. Definitely. I would say mine is more adult-based than child-friendly. However, I would say that a good, a clever 10-year-old reading, a good reader at 10 years old would be able to play this, enjoy it, not be too freaked by it, but hopefully enjoy it and be able to understand the mechanics. Anything above that, 12, yes, should be fine. 14, definitely. Choose your own positions. That's what the series should be. Lee Rinners, but more game books should include the advice: make notes and draw a map. We were trapped in the confound time-travelling madhouse for 2 months because we didn't draw one, and our internal humorous shame, we were defeated by a trash shredder in the kitchen. Yes, that one especially. So that is Joseph Daniels' what is it? The Mystery of Craven Manor, or The Murder at Craven Manor. Yeah, I hadn't really realised it was time travelling, and that you can go back to the same location. It's very clever. Back to the same locations, but in a different time period, and you're trying to sort of find out why the house is haunted, and I won't spoil it too much, but and we did just go round in a loop and a loop and a loop, and I, and that's a good point. I like to write game books, and I prefer game books that don't let me get trapped in a loop. So it's clever design. I think that's an exception because of what he was trying to do and what he does. But yes, a map would have definitely helped. I'm not sure I ever made maps. I must have done. I'm sure I did. I must have done as a kid. But yeah, that shredder in the kitchen was a nightmare. Jonathan has put it, I include that advice. Oh, Jonathan does, even in the one I'm writing at the moment. Oh, okay, which includes a map already. Yeah. I guess I didn't include that in my one. Maybe I should start doing it. So I've been working on my next one, The Rat Wife of Sleepy Eye, and this is a shorter one, and it's more in keeping with the fighting fantasy style, where the paragraphs, the entries aren't as long as the ones I did. They're relatively short. Sometimes, though, you do need to write a long paragraph. You need to write a long entry. I think this is the longest one, yeah. Help injured nomad. I think, because I needed to describe you, without any spoilers, helping an injured nomad. And I thought, I'm just going to write a lot. This one needs to be this amount, but all the others are relatively short. There's a few other long ones in there. But yes, so got pretty far with this now. Completely finished it. It's been proofread 4 times, twice by me, once by Sally, and once by the lovely Julian. He did give me back his findings, so he was playtesting it. He also proofreads it as well, and it's really interesting because a lot of what Julian found, I'd already found with my proofread, because I was sort of I got my first one done first, but also, he'd found similar stuff to what Sally had found, but then Sally had found other things that I hadn't found and that he hadn't found. And then he's also found stuff that both Sally and I didn't find. Not loads, but I missed that bit, and I've missed a letter off of there. And, so it really does help, which is great. What else have we got? Oh, yes, I've read that. I thought I'm all caught up with the comments. So where we're at with this then, and I do think this is probably more, I'm more confident saying a 10-year-old would enjoy this than this, if I'm being totally honest. This maybe is more 12-year-olds, but a 10-year-old would be able to read it if they're pretty good reader. Or if an adult read it out to them, that would be a good way. You could play it together. This one has shorter paragraphs, so I feel like that helps. And it's not as in-depth because it's shorter. The whole book is shorter. So it's not as complicated a plot, and I think that helps as well. Leaving Spirit, caramel coffee with chocolate cookie, the solution to all sorrows on rainy days. Yes, I totally agree. That sounds delightful. So it's had 4 proofreads. I'll probably proofread it again after I've made the playtesting, because Julian has also done the playtesting. And on the whole, it's fine. There's just 1 or 2 bits where a little bit loopy, or a little bit needing fixing, which I have done. I'm halfway through fixing those, so that's good. Yeah. So also, yeah. So that's that side of it. So once we do that, once I finish that, it shouldn't take me too long. I then are going to typeset it, and I have finished the cover. I posted up a little teaser of when I've taken photos of me in Photoshop. Well, not me in Photoshop. of the different stages of the cover in Photoshop. Because I think that's always interesting to look at, isn't it? I'm always interested to go, oh, that was like the outlines, and then that was the first layer, and then, oh, you did that, and you did that on a separate layer. You know, it's quite interesting. Not for everybody, but, you know, some people it is. Remember, you can't... yes, Martha, absolutely. You can't roll a 1 on a D2... Yeah, with 2 D12. Yep. Yeah, I'm not going to live that down, am I? Good morning, Sally. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm just finishing off your coffee. It's very nice. So, yes, I will double check that I've got that correct as well, Martha. I'm not going to live it down. So, yeah, I've done the cover. Sally's seen it. And I won't spoil it too much, but you could probably guess what's on it. But yeah, I've put up a little picture of just a bit of it that doesn't reveal all of it. So I have been taking photos of of it at various stages, and I learnt a lot from doing this cover, because what I learnt was, with the background, I didn't do a complete background. This goblin is part of the background, if you see what I mean. So when I needed him just on his own, so for example, I wanted to just put him there. When I remove him, I had to go around and cut him out, which, you know, is doable, but it's just a bit boring. But then, of course, if I wanted just the background for whatever reason, you know, for like publicity or, you know, a different, you know, I just wanted the background without him, then there was just a big black shape of him. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So this time around, I've learned, yeah, do the background on one complete background, and then your main figure, you know, on another file, and then you just bring that in and you match it all up. So that's what I've done this time round. So it should not. So in future, it shouldn't cause me as many problems. Not that it caused a big problem, but you know. Plus, I did have a bit of a nightmare with this one because my computer crashed, and luckily I didn't lose too much, but I did lose. I did lose a version where it had all the layers, and I was like, oh. But I then even didn't put that as a back layer. Anyway, that's all getting very integral. Shoot, now I'm craving chicken nuggets. Martha and the chicken nuggets at 11:30 in the morning. Does Show Me the Way to Go Home from Jaws count as a pirate shanty, or just drinking song, I wonder? Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to look up pirate shanties. I would imagine it's just a drinking song. Raising coffee and some cold water back at you, says Sally. Oh, you've brewed up another coffee, have you, Sally? Yeah. So, I've got a murder mystery today. Hopefully my voice will be fine. Yeah, so the good thing about the more you do, the more you learn. So I've learned, a little bit about the cover and how I can improve that, as in to make it easier for me to then do publicity stuff with the cover. I also tidied up this scroll a bit, because this cover in the end I had to kind of splice from 3 different versions. I lost the version that had that in it, so I had to kind of redo that or find a version that did have it, but it wasn't as a separate layer, because that was a separate layer. So you learn, you live and learn. Luckily I'd backed most of the stuff up. So I've kept the same format just to show that it's part of the same series, so it's the same design. For Rat Wife though, because it was always meant to be as a freebie. But I'm wondering, should I do illustrations? Should I do like 5 inside illustrations? What do you think? Because this was meant to be as a freebie, and it was always meant to be as a digital version, and because if you back James's project and mine, then you got 1 from him and 1 from me as a free digital version. And I wasn't going to do any illustrations because I thought, that's a lot. So, but should I do, say, 5? Should I just do 5 illustrations in there? Because I'm really enjoying it and I want to make it as good as possible. Jonathan's put here, I wrote a shanty. Oh, did you now? For the tides of Innsmouth, to be sung to the tune of the Weller Man. I don't know what the Weller Man is. Is that a tribute to Paul Weller? Ding. Of course, says Sally. Would it be accompanied with the mandolin or the accordion? And talking of jam, he shall appear. Morning sausage sorcerers of Summershine Sea. It's easy for you to say. Morning sausage sorcerers of Summershine Sea. Jam is back. I'm kind of craving a glass of gas station food, but outdoors is an oven right now. I know it's the perils. Do you risk the heat for crisps? Tackle hug from Martha on jam. Did you do... Yeah, that's a good point. So we're just talking about the Rat Wife of Sleepy Eye, just saying I'm going through Julian's playtesting stuff. I've done the cover, so all I need to do is finish off Julian's corrections, like the playtesting stuff, typeset it. I wasn't going to put any illustrations in. Did you put illustrations in your freebie that, when we joined up together? Did you put little illustrations in them? Because I wasn't going to do it, but I'm now thinking to put 5 illustrations in. Accordion, accompanying accordion. What sausages? Hugs and fills of that? No, but Troy will for you. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I did wonder that. Because Troy will probably put... Yeah. So the digital version. So how have you done the digital version? Did you do a digital version, send it off to your backers without illustrations? Or did you wait for Troy to send you illustrations and he's fine with you using those illustrations? How did it work? There are 2 Thobian, so we're talking about sorcery, 2 Thobian doors out of 4, Jam, and 2 gates away from reclaiming the Crown of Kings at the cost of 4 out of 12 stuntmen so far. Yes, we have died 4 times over the span of the 4 books, but we've got 3 lives each. Missed you here. Not stealing this time. I gave him designs which I briefed. I can't see. Because of the Twitch thing, I can't instantly read your messages. So you gave him designs which he passed on to the illustrator. Yeah, but when you sent out the ebook version, did that one have any illustrations in it? Because that's what I'm considering now. Which he related to the illustrator, yeah. No, so you... Hang on. I forgot what I asked. So your ebook version has no illustrations in it, is that correct? Yes. Good luck with my murder mystery, remembering all my lines. Can't even remember a question I asked somebody literally 20 seconds previously. Until he put them in. Oh, okay, so you waited for him to do the illustrations, right. Cool. Well, there we go. Well, that's interesting. So I won't do them then. The other thing is, here's a question. Are you allowed to sell that book yourself? You know, or is it just purely through him? Because obviously at the moment I've got Fighting Fantasy Fest 6 coming up. Now, I could get a small amount of copies in print for that, but I just wondered if he was like, no, you're selling the rights to me, and I'm just going to be the sole distributor. I don't sell them. He might distribute through you. He might... Oh, I can't read that. That's so frustrating. He might do you a deal. Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking, that you sort of buy it wholesale or something. You know, like I buy copies off of him and then sell them, you know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because in a way, it would be nice to have 2 game books at Fighting Fantasy Fest 6. If I haven't, I haven't. But it would be nice to have 2. So, there we go. There we go. So that's where I am. I've finished it. I'm just doing the playtesting corrections. It's been proofread 4 times. I'll probably give it another proofread once I've done all the playtesting as well. Once I've corrected all that. The cover's done. I do need to typeset it. For the digital version, and then I'll send over the files to Troy anyway, because Troy has very kindly agreed to print the book. But we do need to sort out Julian said he hasn't got his printed version, and he did back both of our projects, so he's under a different email. He's under Lindsay's email, so I wonder if we missed him off the list. So we need to sort that out. So there we go. So that is very interesting about game books and the ages that they're targeted at. And Jonathan had a very good point that adults generally will buy the books for the kids anyway. So it might be that they would both get into it anyway, if they're into that kind of thing, role-playing games, board games, solo board games, and then obviously game books, then they'll probably buy a copy for their son or daughter, and then maybe read it themselves anyway. Martha's put, yes, I've written 319 pages in 2 days. That's amazing, isn't it? He needs to contact Troy. I believe he sent it. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll let Julian know then. Very tempted, says Lirin, after 6 years to upgrade to a foldable phone. for Christmas so I can type. What's that? A foldable phone for Christmas so I can type less mistakes when I chat with you fellas with a larger screen keyboard. Oh, interesting. It is that, because a lot of people, you know, I still use the old T9 way of doing it. I don't use the QWERTY on my phone. I use T9, and I'm great. Because that's how we always used to do it, with a thumb. One thumb, that's all I need. It would come in mighty handy to write a novel on the go with. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, if you want, yeah, I definitely don't write on my phone. That's on a laptop. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you wanted to do some writing and it was easier, it was a bigger screen, absolutely. So there we go. That's really all I've been working on. So it's been quite a quiet week for me. I've been learning my lines for my murder mystery, although I know them already. It's just a refresher. I've done this plot quite a few times. And yeah, just trying to think. Oh, Christmas Carol. My Christmas Carol there. Sorry, I had something on my thumb there. Christmas Carol. My board game, my worker placement board game, that's the other thing I've been working on, because I did play test it once again and got good reaction. It was with my fellow designers, so you know we have a play testing group, so we don't play published games. One of us will bring, or you know, we'll all bring something that we're working on to play test, and it's really good. It's really good to get that feedback. And it was a 3-player game, me and two other guys. They both really enjoyed it. One of them, it was really their type of game. He said, yeah, I love worker placement games. The other one was like, yeah, I'm not, you know, it's not, I wouldn't, you know, it's not my go-to type of game, but I play worker placement games. And even he said he liked it, but he did feel like, and this is a general thing anyway, that he likes to be guided a bit more. Because with worker placement games, generally there's places that you put your workers out and then you gain resources and you're trying to achieve an ultimate goal, but there's many ways that you can do that. So he feels that he needs a bit more guidance of what to do, especially in the first round. So that was his only real criticism. So then I thought, well, I've got these event cards that tell you, that set the financial conditions, because it's Scrooge, you know, so it's a lot of it is about finances. It's about finances and looking after your family. So you need to feed your family, clothe, heat your house, and also light your house, that kind of thing. But there are events, so I thought, oh, maybe I could just put that on there, that you need to achieve this as a target for this round. So that, you know, that's a good bit of valuable feedback there. So that's about the only other thing I've been really working on, which is good because, you know me, I take on far too much. Plus, I've been working on my mediumship business as well and trying to come up with a business plan and marketing. And, you know, I've uploaded some videos to YouTube about what mediumship is and put them on my website, you know. So, again, it's just slowly building stuff up. But, yeah. So, there you go. That's what we're up to. Very tempted after 6 years. Oh, yeah, I read that one. And it would come in mighty handy to write on. Oh yeah, I've read that one. I go with. Yay, there we go. So there we are. I think we're going to wrap it up because I do have to go off to a murder mystery, so I still have to finish packing. The next live stream is going to be this Wednesday, 7:15. If I can get on at 7, I will. But 7:15. Book 4. This is part 7, I believe. Part 7. Well, it is a big chunky book. It is a big chunky book. Part 7 of the Crown of Kings. We've infiltrated the fortress now. We're in. We just need to find what the hell is going on in there, and we just need to find the crown. Presumably we will have a big boss fight at the end as well. But that's this Wednesday, 7:15 UK time. So, unless anybody's got anything else to say, thank you so much, Martha. Thank you, Lirin. Thank you, Spellsing. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Jam, for all tuning in. Very much appreciated. Good night, Sally, Martha, Ken, John, and Gentle Grocklesnook. There he is. He says good night too. And welcome back to Jam. Yeah, we missed you, Warlock Puns. I know, we have all missed you, Jam. We've all missed you. Thank you very much. No, you're more than welcome. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it was a good game book chat. Good game book chat. Take care. Stay out of the heat, you know, obviously. Drink plenty of fluids. Booze. Does that count? Just get absolutely wasted. No, because that dehydrates you. So drink plenty of water. Take care. And remember, may your thieving never get caught. It's that one. It's that one. Martha says, well, I'm going out into the heat. You need some food. Yes, enjoy yourself. Take care. Bye.